Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So the past few days have been quite frankly chaotic in the Battlefield community, and the simple reason for that is a leak, basically a picture from Discord that finally ended up being on the subreddit of Battlefield, and it was suggesting some codes that could potentially leak some sort of SBMM for the next Battlefield game. Now, if you guys don't know, SBMM stands for skill-based matchmaking. It's something that literally ruined games like Delta Force when it comes to matchmaking. It has been tested in games like Call of Duty and in every sort of casual game, not sort of like competitive games, things like Delta Force, Call of Duty, that the SBMM has been implemented. It has been a terribly bad experience. Okay, and this actually caused a lot of buzz in the community, and people are actually furious and worried about the fate of the next Battlefield if this is true. So here's that Discord leak picture. There are things like score per minute, win-loss ratio, kill-death ratio, input device, and even connection and ping, stuff like that. And people were kind of worried that this is potentially some sort of matchmaking SBMM coding, stuff like that. But eventually, David Sirland, the lead producer of the next Battlefield game, had to come in and pour some cold water on the subject and basically debunk and deny everything that has to do with SBMM in the next Battlefield game. This has been very good news for the community. We're going to take a look at what David Sirland said. It was in a private Discord channel, and I don't really have the real messages, real screenshots from what he said, but Tom Henderson actually put everything he said in the Insider Gaming, so we're going to take a look at that and see what David Sirland had to say about the SBMM. And then he finally stated some things about the leaked footage and how it impacts the truth and the experience around Battlefield Labs and our expectations from the next Battlefield game. So we're going to go over all that. But before we start, do make sure to go down in the comment section and let me know what you think about SBMM in general and SBMM being in Battlefield. In my opinion, that is just ridiculous. If someone actually agrees to that, they've probably lost their minds. That's how bad I think it is. But regardless of that, go down in the comment section and let me know what you think. And let's get started with the video. So this is what David Sirland has to say about the SBMM. 2042 has SBMM according to this definition. This is what I tried to detail above yesterday. It has a factor of skill, it's used, but ping and time to game is the top priority. And in a 64-player game, our want is to spawn a server that starts as soon as possible. Thus, the skill factor is negligible in terms of sorting into servers. Also, with a party that is more or less ignored. Just for clarity, saying SBMM is bad is not really useful. What you really want to say is heavy SBMM, where skill separation is a priority, is bad. But that doesn't make skill as a factor in matchmaking bad wholesale. On the contrary, we need a skill value to make balanced teams, no matter the ranges of skill total on a server. It wouldn't be fun if all high skill players ended up on the same team, would it? Just to calm things down, the fact a skill value is in the matchmaker, also you should know that it's been there since we started being able to matchmake, by the way, doesn't mean we're going with a heavy-handed SBMM solution. Quite the opposite. Battlefield is at its best when you play the all-out war modes with friends and different types of players. We do not want to limit that. All of this is also true, skill being important for team balancing, regardless of which way you join the server. For reference, did you feel like the Battlefield Labs playtests were heavy-handed SBMM? No, then we're good. It's the same matchmaker and settings we'll use, with tweaks if we find any issues, of course. So this is very interesting. What David Sirland has to say is that they are not going heavy with the SBMM. It's not going to be the matchmaker's top priority for put you in a lobby and put people in a different lobby. That's not going to happen. The matchmaker basically puts everyone in the same lobby with different types of skills and KDs and all those kind of stuff. And then here's where it gets interesting. This sort of SBMM, or this coding, whatever it is they're doing, is going to be balancing the teams. So it doesn't really limit that total skill of the lobby. It's going to put people in the different teams based on their skill level. So for example, if there are 5 or 6 very high skill players, they're not going to end up all in the same team. 6 players in the same team, that's not going to happen, right? Or if there's a squad of 4 players who are very good at the game, high skill, high KD, they will not be in the same team with another squad of the same KD and skill, right? It's going to put one of the squads in the other team, so it's going to balance things out. So probably the same goes for the other players. It's going to put mediocre players against each other other, and it just comes down slowly until the end of that skill range, right? For that specific lobby. So this is great. This is one of the things that Battlefield 2042 lacks, in my opinion. Like, I've seen myself in like lobbies where there are like 10 very good players in a team, and there are literally no one on the other team to be able to balance things out. And most of the times, the weaker team actually gets destroyed. Like it or not, when you see 10 good players, 8 good players, even 5 good players, 5 is really enough when it comes to Battlefield, then the result is obvious. The enemy team's gonna get destroyed. Like, that's just common sense, you know? And if this is going to be some sort of team balancing coding stuff, then I'm all in for it. Now, one thing's very interesting. What David Sirland has to say is we are going to have a matchmaking system. This is not what really the community wants. We know for a fact that we are getting a Portal 2. With Portal 2 definitely comes a server browser. If that server browser is limited to only Portal, then we're gonna have some problems, because that's not what the community wants. The community wants a server browser that allows us to basically join servers, allows people to rent servers, run their own servers, and stuff like that. We don't really want a matchmaking 24/7 putting us in lobbies that we don't want to play in. So I hope there is some sort of way for people who like matchmaking and for people who like the server browser, which in my opinion, there's a huge gap between them. The people who want a server browser are all over the place, basically. Everywhere you go, people are talking about a server browser and the importance of having it. So in my opinion, it should be a top priority for these people. They know how bad the community wants it, and I hope they do something for people who want a server browser to be able to enjoy Battlefield as it's supposed to be. But David also issued some things about the leak footage and how it affects the experience of Battlefield Labs, and how some people, for like some sort of views and stuff like that, change what the reality is, and they give you the out of context things that they want you to see. And for clickbait stuff, I've seen those kind of stuff on YouTube. Like, even some top heads in Battlefield even do that. So it's basically no secret that this is happening right now in the community. But let's say what David Sirland has to say about this. So he says Battlefield Labs is about building and collaborating on the future of Battlefield, and we want to do that in the correct way. I want to remind everyone, things that are taking place in Battlefield Labs may or may not make their way to the final finish line. This is the greatest thing about this program. It allows us the ability to get creative, see what works with those involved, gain educated and informed feedback from those that are participating, and potentially spot bugs around the features too. We've long wanted to implement this program, responding to your requests for greater involvement and a return to this type of reactivity around all things Battlefield. There is a specific time and place for the wider community to learn about new features and functionalities, and this is not it. We will address various topics and expand participation in Battlefield Labs when appropriate, but the constant reposting of things is not that time or place. Individuals are and will continue to be removed if they continue to violate the NDA that they agreed to. Information and content that gets shared is out of context and often with a narrative wrapped around it that is doing damage to the trust and transparency we want to establish. Things simply are not the same when it comes to hearing about something out of context versus actually experiencing it or reading about it in detail with the correct descriptions around it. While the allure of brief internet fame might be tempting, it undermines our efforts to remain open and communicative. And quite honestly, if that is your intention, then I question where this aligns with the interests of this community. We all can agree that we wanted to have an environment that allowed for testing and collaborating once again. We want to be as transparent as we can be. You have seen us return to the values you once recognized in us. We all want to make Battlefield play like Battlefield, but we cannot do it if the trust continues to be tampered with. We must be allowed the ability to do it right alongside you all and in the correct way. And to all those of you who do wish to see things grow, we commit to you that we are reading your comments and feedback in and out of the program. We are seeing and exploring your experiences with Battlefield, and we are paying attention, just like what we stated in our first community update. One final reminder that when it comes to features, content, functionality, and more, it is only official when we share it and we are comfortable with the topic at hand. To those who are here for community and wish to see a bright future for Battlefield, thank you truly. I truly believe community has been closer to the development of Battlefield than ever before, and I have been around for quite some years now. What we're doing is something different. I know that you feel that too. It is truly refreshing to see you experience pre-alpha content and share your thoughts, but for us to then react and change in a short time frame, it's something else. Rules aren't fun, but they exist to make it better for us all. Let's keep doing this together and do expect more community updates in the very near future. So how he started and how he finished things was, in my opinion, very interesting. It kind of starts with a little bit of rage, in my opinion. He He said people will continue to be removed, and that will continue to be the option if people just share what they're not supposed to share. And then when things really settle just a little bit, he said rules aren't fun, and I know it. It's very interesting for a lead producer saying things like this. But you know what's very good about David Sirland, in my opinion, is first of all, he's really open and communicative about everything he does. That's very good as a lead producer. He feels the duty and responsibility to come out, shed light on topics that aren't really going to help with the next Battlefield game and might potentially kill the hype for it. He comes out and sheds light on things that really matter. And second of all, in my opinion, the experience he had with Battlefield 4 really helps him now. The Battlefield 4 CTE was also where David Sirland was in the game as well. He was there. He's actually one of the people who worked with Battlefield 4 with the development, and he knows what's going on. If there's only one person in all those 4 studios that knows how things work, it's going to be David Sirland. And I'm pretty sure he's going to have a very good influence on creating this next Battlefield game. But we'll have to wait and see how things work. And I do believe we are going to find that in a very near future. So thank you all guys for watching. Again, go down in the comment section and let me know what you think about all this. And until next time, guys, stay cool.